This bill clarifies that DCS may consider the religious and moral beliefs of the child or their family of origin, including in relation to the religious or moral beliefs of the prospective adoptive or foster parent, when determining the most appropriate placement for the child. The bill intends to protect otherwise qualified parents from being denied the ability to adopt or foster children based on values and beliefs.
This piece of legislation is discriminatory. It feels very hateful towards LGBTQIA children that are some of the most vulnerable and are in DCS custody.
I'm really concerned that we're detracting away from the children who deserve to live and to be accepted for who they are.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Littleton, I know that you care about kids, and I've heard you say this again and again. Children deserve to be in loving and safe homes. Do you feel that this policy enhances the protection and well-being of children in DCS custody?
Chair Lady Littleton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is exactly what this bill does.
Representative Behn.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. The language in this bill presumes that religious beliefs of the parents supersedes the best interests of the child. Do you agree or disagree?
Chair Lady Littleton.
I agree that it's the best interest of the child to go into a home where they can flourish and be themselves, and this is in the best interest of the child.
Representative Behn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The name of the bill implies that parents need protection from children who have different gender identities. I thought the point of policies like this is to protect Tennessee children.
Chair Lady Littleton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is in individual cases where the department might choose not to place with an individual parent because the parent's sincere religious beliefs impair their ability to appropriately parent a particular child. The bill seems to give the department direction based on either the child's family or origin, their religious beliefs, and or the department's duty to place the child in best interest.
Representative Behn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This piece of legislation is discriminatory. It feels very hateful towards LGBTQIA children that are some of the most vulnerable and are in DCS custody. I think all children deserve loving and safe homes in order to flourish and grow up to be successful Tennesseans. The presumption that a parent's sincerely held religious or moral beliefs supersedes a child's beliefs in their own identity is inherently wrong. It is indeed contrary to the best interest of the child to be placed in an unsupportive and dangerous home environment. I was under the impression that the intent of this body was to protect children. So why are we going to enforce them in a vicious cycle of parental musical chairs? For this reason, I encourage members of this body to not support this risky and a discriminatory piece of legislation. Thank you.
Is it possible with this legislation that a person a child who identified as queer would be placed in a family who has religious objections to LGBTQIA people?
Chair Lady Littleton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill, the real concern for this bill is to shrink the pool of available parents who are able to foster, which is happening in some states right now. And placement should always be made inconsistent with the best interest of the child. But Tennessee law should be clear that it never starts with the presumption that a current or prospective parent is not appropriate for the placement merely because they hold commonplace religious beliefs about issues of sex or gender. While not every family is the right placement for a child, Tennessee should not make the mistake that other states have by excluding otherwise qualified parents from adopting or fostering simply because of their religious and moral beliefs. This is to try and make the right place for the child, to put the child in a loving home with people that accept them.
Representative Pearson.
Thank you, and I appreciate your preparation and script. But these questions, they're relatively easy. I just want to know whether or not somebody who is a part of the LGBTQIA community would be placed into a home with a family that does not believe in LGBTQIA people or rights.
Chair Lady Littleton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could you repeat that, please?
Representative Pearson.
Yes. Would a child who is LGBTQIA be placed into a home with someone who does not believe in or someone who does not view LGBTQIA people as people?
Shirley Littleton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're trying to place the child in the best home that's possible for the child.
Representative Pearson.
And so your intent with this legislation would be that somebody who says their religious or moral beliefs are against queer folks would not have a queer child in their care, right?
Shirley Littleton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It would be up to the parents and DCS to accept the child, and hopefully the child would want to accept them as well.
Representative Pearson.
Gotcha. My challenge with the legislation is that it is allowing for them to not accept the child as it relates to their sexual orientation or gender identity. So you, as the sponsor of this legislation, I just wanted to be clear, because now we're instructing a department to do something. We need to be very clear that we're not instructing them to send children into harm's way with parents or individuals who would be adopting them who do not love and care for them for all that they are and for who they are. That's not your intention, right?
Shirley Littleton.
That is not the intention at all. The intention is for the best interest of the child. That's the intention, to put it in a home where it would be happy and the parents would be happy as well, the foster or adoptive parents. It's for the protection of the child as well.
Representative Pearson.
Thank you. Chair Lady, I think this legislation probably shouldn't be getting voted on right now. I think I understand your intent. We saw some legislation, I think a couple of days ago, related to DCS and vaccines and people's sincerely held beliefs. But I'm really concerned that we're detracting away from the children who deserve to live and to be accepted for who they are and for all of their intersecting identities. It is wrong for us to legislate discrimination in our policies and in our practices. We have to hold a standard as a state that everybody, because of their religious identity, because of their sexual orientation, because of their gender, are still beloved people who deserve protection. And this legislation isn't concerned in a very meaningful way about the children. In fact, in each answer, you told me about the parents not being discriminated against, the parents not being told they are unfit, the parents. But we have to be worried about the children and prioritizing the children who are in our care who are LGBTQIA. We have to prioritize the children in our care who are trans. We have to prioritize the care of those in our care and ensure that they get to the best homes by ensuring we have a strong standard that says if a child leaves DCS custody, they are going to be well taken care of, and not providing exception in any case for them to be harmed and not taken care of.
Shirley Littleton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is exactly what this bill does. The bill would work with the current DCS guidelines to ensure the best interest of the child when considering their placement.